Hi there, and welcome back to our Introduction to Breathwork workshop. And today we're going to talk about the conscious connected breath, which is the breath we're going to do in a breathwork. So, what is conscious connected breath and what is a breathwork or breathwork session? Let me explain. So, the breath pattern that we are going to be using in our upcoming breathwork session is called the conscious connected breath. And that is an open mouth breath, and it looks something like this. You lower your jaw and you just breathe in through your mouth and out without a pause. So a little bit more of a charge on the inhale, kind of like you're picking up a tissue, and then letting it drop. So a relaxed exhale. And it looks like this. So that is the breath pattern that we're going to be using for our session coming up. And as we do that breathwork, that pattern, we're not really used to breathing through our mouth. So we may find that our throat gets dry or gets ticklish. That's part of it. If you'd like to take a sip of water to relieve or put your tongue to the roof of your mouth, that seems to relieve that little sensation. Okay. Speaking of sensations, as we go through this process of our breathwork session, which means we are going to get into kind of a relaxed, you know, usually lying down on your couch, on your bed, wherever, yoga mat, whatever feels comfortable. We're making a little nest, so we're going to be kind of relaxing for the duration of our breathwork session. And we're going to be doing a breathwork pattern. Now, as we go through this breathwork session, we will be listening to music. The music will start off kind of slowly and build to a little bit of a peak, and then it will kind of change into kind of expansive, lighter, airier music. Now, as we go through that, 20-minute or 30-minute or 40-minute breathwork session, and we will discuss that when we meet to decide on our breathwork session. You may experience a variety of sensations in addition to the tickling. You might experience physical sensations such as tingling in the mouth, arms, tightness in the hands, cramping in the legs. That's all part of a regular list of symptoms that you might experience as we go through the breath work. And essentially, we're playing with the levels of oxygen. We're increasing the oxygen that we intake as we do this breath pattern. So we are changing our blood pressure, we are changing the levels of carbon dioxide and oxygen within our system. So that results in some physical sensations. You may have a desire to move your body. You may feel like, oh, I need to stretch. You may feel like, moving to the music or moving your limbs or arms, hips. You may not, but if you are kind of have the desire to move, explore, go with it. What you may also experience during the breathwork session of this breathwork pattern is emotions. You may experience sadness, you may experience bliss, happiness, joy, anger, frustration, awareness, deep awareness, listening. There's a lot of things that you might experience. And as you may remember from our previous videos, we are taking our kind of thinking mind offline as we do this breathwork pattern. And so we're in a little bit of a dreamlike state. So we might be, the stiff upper lip that we often try to keep during the day to kind of preserve our focus or our need to get things done. We kind of release that. And so the emotions may flow as a result of that. You may have a desire to make sounds like a humming sound or a sigh or buzzing. That was my phone. But you might feel like, humming was the word I was looking for. There are a variety of sounds that you may feel called or feels like your body wants to do that. You can experience some, all, or none of them, but these are the things that are all within the normal range. That being said, you are always in control of your breath, and therefore you are always in control of your experience throughout our breathwork session. What does that mean specifically? That means whenever we feel or experience something in our breathwork session that feels a little uncomfortable, I urge you to kind of go and discover that, breathe through that, However, if you feel overwhelmed or your body says this doesn't feel good anymore, you are welcome to slow down the rate of your open mouth breath. You can extend the exhale. Or three, you can just return to breathing normally at your regular rate through your nose. Okay, so those are three ways that you can manage, and you're the driver of your experience because you are in control of your breath. Okay, that being said, as you go through your experience, I'll be playing music and I will be also here to support you. I will be giving you little guides of, when to begin breathing through your mouth, when to return to breathing through your nose. I will be mentioning little kind of inquiries that you can consider or thoughts that you consider. You may hear me, you may not, but I will be here to support you. And always, if you are feeling completely overwhelmed and you are unable to manage your experience and you would like some support, you're always welcome to uh, end the breathing. Put your hand up, let me know in the chat box, unmute, and let me know. I am here to support you. Okay. As we have already completed our waiver and our release form, explaining about the contraindications. So the things that if you are at more risk if you have these symptoms, if you do this conscious connected breath. What does that mean? If you have, as I mentioned in the document, if you have epilepsy, if you are bipolar, if you have glaucoma, high blood pressure, acute heart disease, asthma, uh, these are all unmanaged or with heavy doses of medication. Um, Thyroid condition, diabetes, detached retina, and the list goes on. So any major brain, heart, lung, eye disease, and I mentioned most of them today and also in the waiver, you are recommended to check with your doctor before doing the conscious connected breath. If your doctor gives you the thumbs up, please go ahead. If you haven't connected with your doctor or if you haven't received the thumbs up to go ahead with this practice of conscious connected breath, you are still welcome to join. And I would like you to breathe just simply through your nose at your own rate. You will still receive a lot of benefits from focusing on your breath, from listening to music, from tuning into your body. Okay? All right, I think those are all of the things that I would like you to remember as we begin our breathwork session. And as I mentioned earlier, before every breathwork session, the one that is upcoming or any in the future that you may join, I always go over these kind of the frame of what you might experience in the breathwork for new and seasoned breathwork breathers or those who are practicing. Just as a reminder, a refresher to let you know that you are safe in this container of our breathwork, you are supported, and so that you have a clear idea of what you can experience. All right, I'm excited for us to jump onto this next part of our introduction to breathwork workshop um, experience, our adventure. And I look forward to connecting with you so we can arrange our next session. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.